This is Sonnet 87, the 5 steps, the rhyming couplet, the last words, split into 4 breaths, caesures. That's our 5 steps. Rhyming couplet. Thus have I had thee, as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. Thus have I had thee, as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no matter. So, a love sonnet, like I've dreamt of having you, but in reality I'll never get you. Something like this. Okay, last words. Possessing estimate, releasing determinate. So we're looking for what words stand out. Possessing, so some kind of obsession type of love thing. Estimate is kind of unusual. All these words are quite grand words in a way for these sonnets. Releasing, letting go maybe of a fantasy. Determinate, you know, but determined to hang on to this fantasy. Granting, deserving, wanting, swerving. Yeah, I mean, this is, we're just over midway through the sonnets. And they're all quite grand words. Swerving. I've never heard him use this word before. Knowing, mistaking, growing, making. Okay, mistaking, some problems, knowing. Can't tell too much from those words. Flatter, matter. Flatter, again, love, relationships, fantasies of people, all this kind of stuff. 4 sections. A sonnet is 14 lines, that's 12 lines plus the rhyming couplet. So we split the 12 into 3 groups of 4. So I'm just going to draw a line under them, but if I was on a Word document, I'd hit return and create a bit of a space. Okay, so now we're going to mark the breaths. The breaths we have to breathe are the sentence ending breaths, and a sentence ends in 3 ways: full stop, exclamation mark, question mark. But we know we're going to breathe at the start and the end, so I'm going to put a / right at the start and right at the end. Then let's look for the sentence endings. Okay, end of the first quatrain, the first group of 4 lines. Oh, end of line 2, in fact. Question mark at the end of line 2 of Q2. End of line 4 of Q4. And then sentence ending at the end of quatrain 3. Okay, so these are the sentence endings I've marked. Okay, are there any sentence endings within the line? Sometimes halfway through the line, Mr. Shakespeare will end a sentence. Let's have a look. No. So we've got quite an even sonnet marked. An even sonnet basically has a breath every other line. The last quatrain, quatrain 3, beginning with thyself thou gavest, is all one sentence. But what's the next big punctuation after the question mark, exclamation mark and full stop? Well, it's the colon and the semicolon. And we've got a semicolon at Q3L2, quatrain 3, line 2. Mark that in. So that gives us a fully marked, breathed out sonnet. Now we're going to look at the caesures. What's the caesure? It's the break halfway through a line. For instance, the first line here is, farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing. Farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing. So, thou art too dear. I think it's going to be after dear. I'm going to put a little V, like this. But if I was typing, I'll put an asterisk. And like enough, thou knowest thy estimate. And like enough, and probably, thou knowest thy estimate. And probably, you know how much you're worth. So like enough, let's go for it there. Thou knowest thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing. After worth, now the charter of thy worth, what's that? You know, the bill of how much you're worth, you know, how much someone bought you for, I don't know. Gives thee releasing. I'm not sure what that means, but it's something like, I don't know, gives thee some kind of power, I guess, I don't know. My bonds in thee are all determinate. My bonds in thee, my bonds, my connections to you, I don't know, are all determinate. So my bonds in thee, my connection to you are all depending, is it something like this, determinate, or all already laid out, something like that. Let's assume we've done the caesures. Remember, it's to be or not to be. That is the question. That's the two halves of the caesure. And now let's read through and work out what's going on. Farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou knowest thy estimate. So goodbye, you're too good for me, and you know it. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing, my bonds in thee are all determinate. So the charter of thy worth, I guess the chart. So basically, you're too good for me, so you're going to release me, you're going to head off. For how do I hold thee, but by thy granting, and for that riches, where is my deserving? But how, if I was going to keep hold of you, how would I do this? Only if you agree. And do I deserve such riches as you are, even? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Am I worthy of you? Well, maybe not. And so my ownership of you, my patent, back again is swerving, is like falling apart. Thyself thou gavest, thy own worth then not knowing, on me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So you were only with me by mistake. You gave yourself to me without knowing how fantastic you are and you're how much better than me you are. So thy great gift, upon misprison growing, comes home again on better judgment making. And thy great gift, which is you yourself, upon misprison growing, misprison. So this idea of you were put in, I'm like your prison, and you shouldn't have been there, misprisoned, prisoned incorrectly, comes home again on better judgment making. So you yourself get away from me when you know better. Okay, thus I have thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. So I only have you when I'm dreaming. And when I'm awake, I don't have you. Okay, let's read it through. Farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou knowest thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing, my bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting, and for that riches where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself thou gavest, thine own worth then not knowing. So you were with me because you didn't realise how great you were. Or me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. Or you thought I was better than I actually am. So thy great gift upon misprison growing comes home again on better judgment making. So thy great gift, which is you, upon misprison growing, upon realising that you're with me by mistake, comes home again on better judgment making. You return your own gift back to yourself once you figure things out. So basically he's saying, you know, you're too good for me, and how did I get you? Well, either you didn't know how great you were, or you thought I was better than I was. Either way, so the only way I can have you is by sleeping when I am a king, but when I wake up I realise that no such luck.